Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. The hard truth, Oshiomhole and his 8PC loyalists are finding so difficult to accept about Obaseki. Wow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time we're reaching you today. We really appreciate your continuous and massive support. We are really grateful that you are there every time, giving us the thumbs up and subscribing. For those of you who have not subscribed, thank you. Well, the elections are fast approaching and it's like a presidential election, in my opinion, if you ask me. I feel the enormous popularity, the interest in this very election is so vast because it's a defining moment in Nigerian democracy with regards to all that has been going on in the country. There is a lot of characters involved in Edo State election and the stakes are quite high. Starting from the very beginning, Adams Oshiomhole, Godwin Obaseki go way back. Adams Oshiomhole served as a governor in Edo State for 2 terms, 8 years. Godwin Obaseki served in his cabinet. When it was time for him to leave, as the governor, he can only serve maximum of 2 terms. He looked at everyone around him and he could find no other who could come to this noble position to be able to steer Edo State in the right direction. He was the one who sold Godwin Obaseki to the people of Edo State, saying, "You might not know this young man, but he does not seek to be popular. He does not even seek recognition or applause. He stays in the office and gives his what? Undying support, love for the state by working with his brain, making sure things are done decently and in order." Those were some of the words Adams Oshiomhole used to describe and articulated to the person of Godwin Obaseki. Fast forward, along came the line. A lot of water began to go under the bridge, and the center that holds could no longer hold, hence things fall apart. Long and short, Obaseki and Oshiomhole are on parallel lines now, and like day and night, cannot stay together. What's happening? Obaseki had to move as a result of the rift that separated them to day and night. And today, Obaseki is contesting under the People Democratic Party, no longer the party that brought him to prominence, especially to become the governor of Edo State. As we speak, Adams Oshiomhole has plotted several means and ways, but cannot believe it that Godwin Obaseki is still standing. A songwriter says, "Whom God has blessed, no man can curse." Anyway, guys, let's get to the cross of the details. The hard truth Oshiomhole and his APC loyalists are finding so difficult to accept about Governor Godwin Obaseki. Oshiomhole and his loyalists in APC are still not able to come to terms with the fact that Obaseki is contesting Edo 2020 election and doing so under a major political party as the People Democratic Party. While Oshiomhole, who masterminded Obaseki leaving the APC, has not only been removed as the party chairman, but has been placed outside of the APC by his suspension, making him unable to even officially make contribution to whatever critical matters the party is doing in the state currently, as it were. The APC are now extra careful of what is committed to Oshiomhole's hands until his suspension is lifted to avoid any possible legal failure. But unfortunately for Oshiomhole, even when Obaseki is no more in the APC, his suspension has continued to linger, meaning Oshiomhole was throughout pointing his finger at Obaseki in the APC until he was finally removed as APC chairman and no real control and no longer has real control in the state structure or the party. But why Oshiomhole and his men still so pained about Obaseki even after he has left the APC, for them to the People Democratic Party, normally one would have expected them to be victorious mood, having succeeded in making Obaseki to leave APC to another party, the People Democratic Party. The fact is, Obaseki moving to the People Democratic Party was a dangerous poison for Oshomole's team, as the People Democratic Party has the strong structure needed to drive Obaseki's campaign with the huge support he already enjoys in the state and from Edo people. This again, this against the desire of Oshiomhole to render Obaseki partyless going into a Edo governorship election, means his desire to deny Obaseki the ticket to contest the election for his second term bid has failed, as Obaseki is sure now for a second term bid under the People Democratic Party. Also, too, knowing that Ize whom he has successfully forced on the APC, has greatly lost his popularity in the state by his alignment with Oshiomhole, who had made very destructive allegations against same Ize without any challenge in court, even up to today. Oshiomhole's mysterious ways of speaking has landed Ize in the critical position he is today with the people of Edo State. So, being grossly liquidated, Oshiomhole is now seeking succor in no other but Williams, who has filed a lawsuit referring to number FHC/B/CS/75/2020 at the Federal High Court Benin against Obaseki and his deputy for an alleged certificate forgery in what they presented to the INEC. The mockery in his suit, he said that the certificates are same and the authenticity of the certificate are not actually clarified. The question here is, why will any lawyer accept a pursuit to pursue a case that has no merit in court? Certainly, lawyers are paid to appear in court for anyone who can afford their payments, which means they are after their money and will do anything the person wants to waste their time and their money. This is actually a dead case from the start, which is against Oshiomhole, and one of the normal things he tries to do that cannot work on Obaseki. As a matter of fact, Obaseki is not flying APC flag, and if truly he has forged certificates along with his deputy, which they have given to INEC, it will be to APC advantage when Obaseki will have won, but they know there is nothing wrong with the certificate. Still, they want to make noise to distract the people from Obaseki and Shaibu's team. But the Obaseki's team should stay focused and not be distracted. The battle is what we make it. We must make sure we stand by our candidate. Obaseki is contesting for Edo 2020 governorship election and will win that too if you stand with him and beside him. Well, my people, this is the hard truth that the persons of Oshiomhole and his party, his loyalists, are finding very difficult to accept. The plot was to make Obaseki partyless. They never anticipated, when you are planning, they did not look at all the loopholes. Supposing we do this, can this happen? And guess what? It was a shock to see that Governor Gordon Obaseki went to the People Democratic Party, and guess what? Every single candidate, including the ones that went to court, all stepped down for him to become their consensus candidate. As we speak, Governor Gordon Obaseki is fighting and will win come September 19. Again, it's still a 50-50 chance for everybody. And that's why Edo State, if you believe Governor Gordon Obaseki is your candidate, you must stand beside and you must stand behind him to give him your undying support. For if you look at it with levity and said he has won, you might be shocked. Like I said, it's still a 50-50 chance and it's still anybody's game. At the end of the day, by September the 19th, we will know who the cap fits, because that person will be putting on the cap all the way for Edo State in the next 4 years. What do you think, my people? Thank you. God bless you. Have a fantastic day and bye for now.